I remember this conversation I had with a 3-year-old, and then I asked this question, बड़े होके क्या बनना है? What do you want to be? And the child told me, बड़े होके मुझे मम्मी बनना है. And for a second, I'm like, wait, what are you actually saying? And then that's when my wife told me that what this child actually means is that she wants to be like her mom, because she sees her mom in control. She sees her mom to be the leader. She sees the mom to have the final say in everything. And then as this child goes to school, you ask the child, "Aapko kya banna hai bade hoke? What do you want to be?" And the child says, "I want to be a teacher." Because the child sees the teacher being, supremely powerful, supremely, who has a veto power in the classroom, getting things happen. Welcome to Will Talks. Today I have Dr. Reni Francis with me today. And it is so wonderful to have someone to represent teacher education and teacher training colleges. Dr. Reni has authored over 30 books, 30 books related to education and how children learn and how schools can really improve and develop and do better for their kids. Dr. Reni is also the principal of the Pillai College of Teacher Education, or Pillai College of Education at Chembur in Mumbai. Dr. Reni, such a pleasure to have you at the Will Talks.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much. It's really great, feeling nice to be here, feeling like a celebrity to be with you.
I think teachers are the new kind of celebrity.
Very true.
Right?
That's true. Yes, because they create a different aura in the classroom, and it makes a very different experience to be a teacher. I think I have been a teacher now for over 23 years. So I'm sure that every person who's being trained to be a teacher has a different standing when they come in the society. Teaching is a very sacred profession. And I feel when we are talking about teaching as a profession, there's a lot that you need to understand and prepare yourself when you're going to the classroom. And that's why I feel teacher training is one of the footsteps, the beginning steps that you can take when you are preparing yourself for such a sacred profession. When we talk about being a teacher, it's something that it comes from within. There's a calling that you have from within. And I always feel being a teacher is having a rich blend of connectivity as well as communication. So I feel as a teacher, I'm very proud to be a teacher, and I want to live my life as a lifelong learner more than a teacher, so that I can learn with the changes that you are seeing in the society today, with the dynamism in the society. I think teaching and learning goes hand in hand.
It's really nice to see how you talk about teaching as a profession that one has to be called for. I don't know if people say the same thing about software engineering or, or hardware engineering or plumbing for that matter. Why do you think it has this idea of being called?
So when I spoke about it's a calling from within. And the calling from within has to really come when you're really passionate about teaching. Today, if you look into the teaching community, the numbers are dwindling. People who would like to take up teaching as a profession, the numbers are quite dwindling, and the calling is quite often not taken as a choice, but like a chance. I feel there's more to that. And the society needs to bring up that charm of teaching in the forefront. Bringing the charm in the forefront starts from preparing for this calling from the beginning. I still remember my school days where, on Teachers' Day, we, the senior students, were given an opportunity to become teachers. It was like you could dress up and you can go to the class, to the junior classes, to the small classes, and then take down the attendance, ask them to open the book, read something, teach something, and click a lot of pictures. But today I feel it's more than that. Today, teaching is something that you need to understand how you need to engage the class. And class engagement can be only done when you are a part of the classroom. So the calling should start from from the beginning. And I think school is a very good environment, where you can develop this calling. Many a times we have people from outside who come into the class, walk into the class and ask, what do you want to become? How many hands are raised for being a teacher? And if there are less number of hands, then we need to understand why. We are in a school environment. We are so happy to be in the school with the teacher around us. And then why we don't want to be teachers? The first question comes from there. The second is, are we as schools, or are we as educators inspiring our students to be teachers? And if that has to be there, then there is that extra magic that you have to create in making your profession look so calling. That the calling has to be created, and so you need to have an impact on your students. The third is, we hear about campus fairs. How many of the schools are inviting universities who are offering teacher education as a profession for the students to enroll for? Now, with the integrated teacher education program, a student at grade 12 can decide if they want to be a teacher. So there is after your 12th, you can take up in an integrated teacher education program. So there is a need that we need to understand that even at the school level, we can create that passion, that calling for teaching. And that is in the hands of the schools, in the hands of the educators who are there in the classroom, to create the charm and to just make the students feel, yes, let's invite them for the teaching profession.
I love this because what I hear you say is that we need to build the prestige around teaching. We need to build this idea that teachers are professionals. I remember this conversation I had with a 3-year-old and then later on with a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. I asked this question, बड़े होके क्या बनना है? What do you want to be? And the child told me, बड़े होके मुझे मम्मी बनना है. And for a second, I'm like, wait, what are you actually saying? And then that's when my wife told me that what this child actually means is that she wants to be like her mom because she sees her mom in control. She sees her mom to be the leader. She sees the mom to have the final say in everything. And then as this child goes to school, you ask the child, "Aapko kya banna hai bade hoke? What do you want to be?" And the child says, "I want to be a teacher." Because the child sees the teacher being, supremely powerful, supremely, who has a veto power in the classroom, getting things happen. And eventually the child believes that teacher ne kaha hai, to mummy bhi wrong hai. The teacher is right. It's so difficult to get a child to believe that anybody else. But as the child grows older and older, now the child doesn't want to be a teacher. And I start wondering, is there something in the school system that gradually shows children that the teacher is actually not as powerful as you think she is? Do you think schools are blaming, let's say, teaching or good teaching today? Or do you think schools feel that B.Ed colleges to kuch nahi sikhata?
Yeah.
Do you think, have you come across anything like that, being a leader of a B.Ed college?
Yeah. So like you said, I feel what happens is, as children grow up, the society is so much filled with other professions which are more fancy, or which are more, it can also say that it grabs more attention. The teaching profession, the calling for it, slowly starts diminishing. And then they feel, no, what does a teacher do? She just teaches, na. So that's fine. I mean, everybody can teach. It's not a great thing. Anybody can teach from the textbook. You just need to hold the textbook and you can teach. But I feel there's more to it. First is because the society needs to first understand what is the role of a teacher. And being a teacher is something that you need to look beyond the teacher's role, beyond the capacity, or beyond the classroom. Because the teacher's role is just not in the classroom. For an example, if I have to just say that, the teacher walks into the classroom, the way she walks, the way she talks, the way she holds herself, everything means a lot. And that itself creates an image in the in the classroom. It's not necessary that a teacher needs to always raise her or his voice to keep the class under control. I still remember my school days. My teacher just looked at all of us just with a stern look, and that was it. There was complete silence in the class. So there is lot that you need to understand when you're preparing yourself to be a teacher. And that's where teacher education colleges or the B.Ed colleges play a very, very important role. Many a times we have heard that, whatever happens in a B.Ed college is not important. The real magic is in the schools because they need to understand what is happening in the school, and the school culture is different, and each school has its different philosophy and ideology, and the teacher needs to get adjusted and adapted to this school. So we are doing it. But I still give this example in my classroom, and I want to share it here also. So every time when I enter the class, there's one paper that I have to teach them that's on philosophy and curriculum, and I tell all of them to stand up. They all stand. All my students stand. They all stand, and then I tell them, okay, now let's learn cycling. Okay, so I tell them, okay, stand, hold the cycle. Now, first put your right leg onto one pedal, then put the left leg to the right pedal. So it won't be because your the other leg which you have already put obstructs it. And then I tell them, no, put it, you still put it. And they'll say, no, ma'am, we can't. I said, no, 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 try, but you still try. Then they will say, no. Okay, I said, okay, now put as the legs on the pedal as you can. And now I tell them, okay, now balance your cycle and ride. So they are like holding it imaginary and they're feeling, oh, I said, okay, so you have got a degree for riding the bicycle or riding the motorbike. Your certificate for license for this is done. Is that enough for you to go on the roads? I asked them. And they say, no, because we don't know to ride on the road. We have not seen the traffic outside. I said, exactly. So if you're just talking about theory, if you're just talking about just giving some lessons and thinking that this is the crux of teaching, that's not teaching. Teaching is more on the practical experience. But based on the practical experience, there is some theory that is associated. I'll give you an example. Is we all feel that we can go and pick up a textbook, and the teachers take a textbook to the class and tell them, open to page number so and so. Let's start reading this chapter. The teacher starts reading. The students look at the book. The reading is done. It's done. But when you enter the B.Ed profession, there are some aspects that are taught to you on even how you hold the textbook. You're not supposed to fold the textbook when you are reading. You're not supposed to read the textbook while you're walking. You're supposed to stand still while you're reading the textbook. You're not supposed to use the textbook for subjects which are either science or social sciences. For languages, you are supposed to open the textbook. These are certain things that you will learn when you are as a part of the B.Ed curriculum.
It's a very interesting idea, right? Like to be able to take someone into a college and put them through a program and then transform them into a teacher, right? So that will be very interesting to see, like, how do you transform an individual into a teacher? What are those skills that you transfer into them? What you were saying.
So yeah. So then, many a times like you said, I hear this, B.Ed is just a degree. So I'm a part of a B.Ed college. I have taught as a school teacher. I have also taught as a junior college teacher and at the degree level. And now I'm teaching at the B.Ed level. I need to understand that it is just not the degree that will fetch you a job, but it is something that will internalize two aspects. So when I talk about teaching, I think about two aspects. One is your internal grooming, and one is your external grooming. Your internal grooming is when you really have that calling and you really want to be a teacher. And you have not come here because of the vacation, because of the working hours, flexible working hours, because it matches to my children, their timings at school. So I'm happy I will get vacation as per my child's vacation. That's not your internal calling. Your calling should be why you want to teach. I do have a situation where I have, so in my college, I have the age group of students that come to for the B.Ed ranges from 21, 22 till around 48, 50, 52. I had a very special student, I am remembered about, which was way back in 2008. She was a grandma she had three grandkids. And she came to learn B.Ed after, after her all her job, and she had retired. She had taken a voluntary, and her husband was doing very well. He was a doctor. And she had come back to teaching only to know how to teach her grandkids. She said, I want to teach my grandkids at home, not that she was a part of the homeschooling or she wanted to do homeschooling. She said, when my children are at home, when my grandkids are at home, I just want to know what is the right form of giving them guidance or teaching them. So I'm come here to learn B.Ed so that I teach them well. I was so amazed, and I feel till today I cite her example because that's the passion of someone who wants to know how to teach. We also have a lot of people who have been working in multinational companies and other places, who have taken teaching as a profession now because they feel that there is a calling for them today. So when you are talking about grooming the
Hang on. Are you saying people from corporate India?
Yeah, so we have corporate people from the corporate people who have been working in multinational companies for long, and now they want to just come over to teaching because that's where they feel the real crux is, and they really want to have that build that connect. So they are back to profession. They are back to the teaching as a profession. So when you have such a big diversity in your classroom of students from different age group, from different faculty, from different walks of life, uh, to blend them together into this teaching mindset is a very unique task. And that can be only done when you are having a proper framework of how to do things. So, when you enter the B.Ed classroom, the B.Ed classroom tries to, in fact, I cannot say tries, takes you or walks you through the various stages that you need to be prepared for your regular classroom. Now, what are the various stages? First we start with is the micro skills. Now, when a teacher enters the classroom today, I mean, an in service teacher, how many times, or in a week, or she probably in a day, she has 6 or 5 to 6 periods that she has to go to any classroom. Every B.Ed classroom, every B.Ed student is being told that you need to start with a skill of induction, that is introduction. But when you see that in an in-service classroom, you suddenly feel that the skill of introduction is lost. They just go, okay, we stopped. Where did we stop last time? We stopped it here. Okay, today we are starting with this, and then the textbook is open, and then we are reading it, and then interspersed with some examples in between, and maybe something to write, and that's it. So, if that is what is happening in the classroom today, so we have really lost the entire connect of what the B.Ed program talks about, the various skills. Like I told you, there has to be an introduction. Introduction is based on certain previous knowledge of the student. The previous knowledge can be the chapter that you left yesterday or a day before, and then connect it by just preliminary questions, which will build the connect to the child. But how much are we doing that? First. Second, you need to give them examples of not what is there in the textbook, but what is really connecting them to life. Now, I keep asking, I have been doing this teacher training. I don't know, so many. I probably now it has crossed more than um, 3,000 plus teacher trainings I have done. And I ask in the classroom, in the teacher training sessions, all our teachers who are from the young and the senior most teachers, and I tell them, okay, let's draw a scenery. And everyone,
The two mountains, one rising, one
everyone,
house.
yes, exactly. Everyone till today, I have found everybody draws the mountain, the sun in between the mountain, the birds flying up, the few clouds there, the river stream flowing. Maybe it has a boat or some fishes. There is a coconut tree or some other tree. But that's the standard. I said, where did you see this right now? Are you seeing it around? They said, no. Where did you learn? In our school. So we have just carried that over the years. And that's a striking example how teachers need to come out of the shell or think different. But if we are going to draw the same scenery over the years when we are not seeing it around us, how can we expect things to change?
For me, this is slightly scary, right? It's like if somebody told me that here's an architect, or here's a doctor, or here's an engineer who builds engines, okay, um, and he learned how to do an open heart surgery in college because he was doing his MD, or he was being a surgeon, a cardiac surgeon, but he decides not to do what he learned in college in the operation theater.
Mm.
I would be really scared. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that he's doing better, if
Better.
not what he was taught. But it almost to me appears that while teachers may know,
Hmm.
if they're trained teachers, while they know what to do, they're actually not doing. And then one tends to wonder why. Is it because of lack of accountability inside a traditional school? Is it a lack of time? Or is it that the training was misplaced in terms of maybe that was not really required from a practical perspective? Because so many schools and parents and all these people are talking about schools have to change, what children have to learn have to change. Is there any disalignment or anything between what teachers are taught or how they're prepared in B.Ed college versus what they're expected to do in school? That's my first question. My second question is like, or is it that what they are taught in B.Ed college is timeless? Because certain things can be timeless, like the principles can be timeless. So, what exactly do you teach in a B.Ed college?
Okay, so it is not timeless because we have evolved. The B.Ed program has evolved from a 1 year B.Ed course to a 2 year B.Ed program. From a 2 year B.Ed program, it's going on to be a 4 year integrated program. So the B.Ed program is definitely evolving. And there are a lot of things that have been changed as per the changing needs of those classrooms today. The only thing that I feel is there is a disconnect or there's a gap that the school's expectations and the teacher expectations have changed is because probably it could be we consider B.Ed to be a more theory oriented program, just taking up all, you're learning about theories, you're learning about things which are uh, they feel, oh, it's not relevant in the class. But I feel even for a person, like I said, the diversity is one thing that you need to understand when the B.Ed perspective. When you enter a classroom, if you need to use a particular teaching aid, or if you need to use a question, if you need to ask a question, then there is a psychology behind it, there is a philosophy behind it, there are methods of teaching behind it, which has to be understand which question fits well for which category of students in the classroom, at which the grades, the timetable, everything has to be understood. Now if I ask my student after a break or after a PT period to concentrate on a subject which requires a lot of focus and precision, probably it is not going to work because the child is already tired after so there is an understanding of the timetable construction which is taught in the B.Ed. Same way, if you're talking about using an example for the students, like I tell them, identify this person. But if I have not seen that person, if I am not aware of that person, then I cannot identify that person. So, how are the questions framed? Everything is the basis lies in the B.Ed training program. Because if I'm talking about the methods of teaching, or if I'm talking about the philosophies that has been given, we're talking about activity centered. But activity centered was always there in our curriculum. It has always been there. Gandhiji spoke about our activity centered classroom. John Dewey spoke about activity centered classroom. Today also we are speaking. So there is a basis. While they have spoken about activity centered, they have also clearly mentioned what should be the role of a teacher, what methods of teaching you should use, for which subjects it is useful, what kind of curriculum, how the textbooks should be. These are the aspects that are mentioned when you're talking about an activity centered classroom. So I feel the disconnect lies in just feeling that it's not something that you can just get through by just attending few lectures or walking into the classroom with a textbook. It is something that you need to be trained over and over again. When our students take up their first lesson, they make a lot of things that they miss out on a lot of things, maybe some introductory questions or so. With practice, it comes through, and that practice really refines you as a teacher. And I think just by taking an admission in a B.Ed college or doing a B.Ed program, and just attending few lectures, it will not come through. You need to be a part and parcel of the entire program to understand what it conveys or what it delivers to you. Yeah.
I think when you started off, you said that the numbers are dwindling.
Yes. Yes.
What do you mean by that? You mean like there are less people wanting to be teachers, and if there are less less people wanting to be teachers, is there a dearth of teachers in this country? First question, and the second question is, are are there more teacher training colleges coming up, or are more teacher training colleges shutting down?
Okay. So I think we should all refer to the recent document by UNESCO, which speaks about the shortage of teachers. One is that. The second is the shortage of teachers is the primary cause is the calling. Now we need to understand in the society why the calling is not there. That's another aspect. No, our profession is the profession not appealing enough that the students should take it up. The third, I feel there is no awareness about the teacher training programs, or what it offers, or what are the better job prospects that it can have. So that's also something that the students need to be oriented on. uh, the next aspect is the teacher training. Today it is looked out to be an easy getaway. You just get the degree, but you can take it easy. Um, and you need not even attend classes, that's fine, but you will be able to get your degree. So that's one area that is also looked into, and many have been speaking about this. The numbers have been going low because students do not want, they feel it's not very appealing to be a teacher, or you also have, oh, they have a lot of job, or they are too accountable in the classroom, or the expectations from the school is high, and which may be resulting to the kind of the facilities that you are provided at the school. Everything probably affects the teacher and the school ratio that we are looking up.
What do you think is the opportunity that teachers have? Like, if today, if a young person at 22 decides to become a teacher, what is the kind of time that that person has to invest to become a teacher, to become a qualified teacher? Second, on having that qualification, what are the various opportunities that this person will get?
Okay.
And let's say if it's metro, if it's like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore,
Yeah.
Chennai. And the third question I wanted to understand is, um, what are the are there any other opportunities, moonlighting or stargazing
Yeah.
opportunities that are available for teachers? Is that a life, is that qualification, is it, will it hold this person for a lifetime? Will that person be able to
Yeah.
have a comfortable life?
Yeah. So I remember when my aunt, she joined as a teacher in a state board school. She retired as a teacher of that school. She was very happy, to be in there. And she always taught that same set of students, the grade 8, 9, and then she progressed to grade 10. And she continued doing that. And then, as a family member, you always feel being a teacher is so comfortable and things are fine. You don't have to do anything extra. You just go, need, teach, and come back. And that's the end of it. But today, I think teachers, students who are pursuing their B.Ed program, they have a lot of aspirations of even starting a school. I have so many students who tell me that, ma'am, I would like to start a school, and they come from their hometown, the village, and they said, we didn't have a good school there, but then I want to learn B.Ed and I want to start a school. So there are opportunities. And what I think is today, teaching is just not taking the B.Ed degree as it is and going to the classroom, but you need to have a lot of other feathers also on your hat that will make you a very versatile teacher in the classroom. So we always speak that teacher has multiple roles to play. Definitely, she or he has a set of roles that that has to be played in the classroom. But the the college or the institution or The environment should support you to do that. The teacher education program is like, you have, as per the NCT guidelines, you need to have the specific number of hours in your classroom. Apart from that, the NCT and the colleges are been providing a lot of additional support to the students, which will enhance their teaching profession when they walk into the schools.
By NCT, is that the regulatory body?
Yeah. So
That
the National
looks-
Council of Teacher Education is the regulating body for B.Ed program, and they have given an opportunity where you can, the schools can, the colleges can have a lot of value added courses or add on courses or certificate courses, which will add to the benefit of the students. For an example, I would just like to say, like our college, we do something called as a micro credential in learning. So what we have been doing in micro credential learning, it's a separate program that we are running. I can't say it, I don't mention it as a program, but a separate course that we have given to our students, where the student is learning about a specific topic. Like, for an example, I may speak about leadership or a management program. Now, leadership and management courses is a part of the B.Ed program in the subject educational management. They are spoken about few leadership styles, the classroom management and things like that.
Just to interject for the sake of
Yeah.
clarity, what are the subjects in a typical B.Ed college?
Okay.
Because I remember when I did it, it was psychology of learning, psychology of the learner.
Yeah. So
Method.
now the subjects have changed, and we have 4 semesters, and no more we are moving with the subjects like philosophy or psychology
4
or
subjects.
sociology. Yeah, I know. So now it's quite different. So you have something called as childhood and growing up. So in your first semester has childhood and growing up. You have knowledge and curriculum, and you have gender, school, and society. So gender school is a very, very in topic because students need to know about it, and that's something that has been introduced new from 2017. I'm sorry, it was started after we began with the 2-year B.Ed program, but it has been put into different semesters now and try to. So the subjects vary from the subjects vary from different in the various semesters in different places, but in our as per Mumbai University we have this. Then we have in semester 2 we have learning and teaching, we have pedagogy, that is our subjects of teaching in the school, and we also have educational management. We have in semester 3 we have assessment for learning, we have the second pedagogy,
Assessment for learning.
Yeah, and which was called as educational evaluation in those years when we did B.Ed. And we also have the pedagogy, and then we have language across curriculum, which is
Language across curriculum.
So we have some now the entire B.Ed
I
program.
almost now feel like I didn't do my B.Ed. If you've got so
we
many
have
subjects.
So we have the B.Ed program as core courses. We have pedagogy courses, that is, they are the electives. We have something called as interdisciplinary courses. We also have ability based courses, and we have audit courses. These are all the aspects that have been introduced new in the B.Ed. And
Audit courses.
yeah, so there are certain audit courses which are done by the college, is done by the college, and the student doesn't give a university exam for that, but it has to be done as an additional course, and the child can offer from the two of courses that are offered to the student. The student can take up any one, and that are certified courses. So you need, the college certifies that you have completed these many hours and completed these tasks as a part of the audit course. So like I said, B.Ed is evolving.
So richer curriculum now,
yes.
right? So there's a difference between B.Ed and B.Ed now.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yes.
there could
So
be B.Eds in the schools who did it 10 years ago.
Yes.
And there could be a B.Ed who did today.
Yeah, true.
And then one person probably did 10% of the other person.
True. So we have something called as an ability based courses, wherein we are the first semester we teach them ICT in education, critical understanding of ICT in education. And that's absolutely, wonderful, because the student, in the first semester, in the first 3 months, the student is learning Canva, the student learns how to video record, edit videos, so many things, create their own profile, e-portfolios. There's a bunch of things that the student is doing. See, now here we are not demarcating between age group, or everybody is doing everything. So there's no pick and choose in this. The student is given an opportunity for that. So that's a wonderful program. So if you see any B.Ed college, Any student coming out of B.Ed these days, you will have them, they will make Canva for you like in a jiffy, and they'll say, okay, we are done with it. Video editing and everything is done. Even the ones who have been out of this education scenario for long. So it's absolutely wonderful to see how education has evolved. We have something called as, like I mentioned about language across curriculum. It's not specific to a pedagogy or a method subject that for English teacher or for language teacher.
Earlier it used to be method. English
Yes.
method,
Yeah.
geography
So we
method.
do have that methods that's called as pedagogy of school subject now. But this language across curriculum is taken by all the students. Every student of B.Ed takes this subject. It is a university assessed paper as well as college assessed. So the student is now understanding the importance of language and how to use it. So communication is something that we are trying to build not only among the students who are just teaching an English or a pedagogy or a method paper, but then it is across. We also have something called as drama and art in education, which is also, it's taken as an audit course. You have something called as reading and reflecting text. That is a ability based course. Reading and reflecting, the students are given books, and they need to read, they need to understand. There's a you have been you grill, the different texts, the different passages have been given to them. They're able to identify, differentiate what kind of a text is this, and how to put it across, how. So there's lot that has been happening in B.Ed. So we are not still going back to the Herbacean steps. We have evolved. B.Ed colleges have really evolved a lot, and there's lot more that we are trying to put forth. The only thing is, we need to open our eyes and see, okay, the B.Ed colleges is also coming forward, trying to do, like I told you, these are the mandatory things that the B.Ed colleges are
Apart from this,
supposed to do.
you have micro credentials.
Apart from this, we have, we have the
Leadership
added,
and management.
yeah, we have add-on courses, we have value-added courses. Our college offers, PCR Chembur offers micro credentials. Like I told you, we have finished our first set of micro credentials where our students have been taken to different schools across Mumbai, and we have introduced them to leaders, spoke to them about leadership lessons. We have joined with PIMSR, the Pillai Institute of Management Studies and Research. We have joined hands with them. They have been teaching the management lessons from the management perspective to our B.Ed students. So our B.Ed students are now listening all those theories of management, which we do not teach so much in detail, but they have learned from there. Now they are going back to the schools, seeing how is it implemented in schools, coming back, preparing, understanding, preparing on them, able to present, able to understand what leadership role, trying to mix match 2 3 leadership roles and trying to come out with something new. And that's something that I need to I need to cater to today. The other micro credential I really want to talk about is interior designing and architecture.
What?
We have been doing. So we know as B.Ed students, they need to be having proper understanding of learning spaces, and learning space is important to make the learning more fruitful and
You mean
engaging.
classroom?
Any classroom, across the grades, making the learning space to be more engaging, more interactive, more, bringing the best in the class. But then there is a learning setup that you need to understand. So we are trying to understand that from a architectural or from the interior designing point of view. Taking it, so we cannot change the structure of the entire building, but probably make the classroom more effective for learning. So what is their perspective? Why did they design it like that? What is their understanding? We are trying to put that in our classrooms, make the students understand. So tomorrow when they are being asked for an opinion of why your classroom should be looking, in a particular format, they are able to speak. So we have tried our best to look for more and beyond, so that we are able to match to the learning standards that are existing in the society.
This is incredible because to me this shows that one, with the evolving nature of the B.Ed college program itself, you now are instilling and installing competence
Yes.
in these teachers.
Yeah.
And you're giving them so many different competencies that they would otherwise not have at all, because once they hit the job market, there's really, like, learning has almost come to a standstill. And apart from that competence, I think what that is doing is also professionalizing
Yes.
that particular role, that because you're learning so many things and you're learning it in detail, that's giving you confidence. And I think that confidence is what children respond to. I think a strong, competent, and confident teacher in the classroom is someone who can change the life
Yeah.
or the life trajectory of a teacher. And I can
Very
see
true.
that coming out very, very firmly. So I want to ask you a question here. What should a school principal do today if she has got 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70 teachers inside her school? And all these teachers have got beard, the old beard,
Mhm.
not the new beard, not the new powerful boosted beard, right? How can a school principal today think of a structured journey or a structured set of trainings, topics, experiences to convert all her teachers, all her in-service teachers, to become to become at least at par with
Okay.
people who are coming out of such amazing colleges such as yours.
Yeah.
It would be nice for them to know what could some of the topics be, how many hours that the teacher has to spend doing this, how does it look like inside a classroom, like once a week, twice a week. Um, what could some of the goals be? Are there any tips, tricks, hacks, shortcuts? Are there any
Yeah.
books
Yeah.
that one can refer to? Or are there any teaching standards that the government has made available?
Yes.
So just talk to a school principal
Okay.
and tell her how she can make all her teachers super teachers.
Yeah. So I feel refining oneself and bringing that finesse is very important. And refinement is just not that you take it in today and then it's done for a year or 2 years or 5 years. No, it doesn't happen like that, because our learners are more active today. They know more than you and they are faster than us. So we need to be at par. I uh, the the prominent or the best example that we can understand is the covid just made all the teachers go online so quick, and they adapted themselves so well. Yeah, we did have challenges. Even the best of the best person with technology did have challenges, but we still did our best and tried to make it up. So what I feel is, the principals need to understand that yes, there's a lot that the teachers need to be undergoing through a process of change. It is not that they are not good. They need to change because things have changed around. So we need to focus on continuous professional development. Now, if you look into the national professional standards for teachers, it's already available on the net, which the UGC has recommended.
What is it called?
And National Professional Standards for Teachers. It's there where it talks about the for the beginners, the teacher, how you are supposed to, what are the things that you're supposed to know about, and there are very clearly stated outcomes. So one thing that we need to focus here is you need to focus on outcomes, uh, which we think as anybody for anything that you do, you need to focus what is your end result. If we start from there, then we can move down to the trajectory of how to really go about. So the end result has to be understood. Now, what is the end result? Is our end result in just completing the portion, or getting the student to pass out from this grade? No, it's not that. The end result is for your student to understand how things, understand the concepts well, so that they can take it forward. Now, if that has to be done, then there has to be certain training that has to be given to the teachers, because over the time, any knife becomes blunt. So we need to sharpen it. And if you need to sharpen it, maybe you have that intention, inner calling, that you really are motivated, though there are so many challenges around, but you're still motivated, which becomes a little bit difficult. The other thing is you need someone from the external who will help you to cross this path, this challenging task very easily. So what you could do is, you need to dedicate yourself. So we do something called as, we have tie up with several schools that we have been taken up. We take up these 1 year project with them.
Oh,
It's called as the continuous professional development for school teachers, and we have been successfully doing it with the SIS school Matunga, where we have taken up one set of teachers, and we are hand holding them for a long time now. So what the entire process goes out is, we have a set of sessions that is to be taken with them, which are regular sessions, normal sessions, which talks about the teaching pedagogy, the methods of teaching, the new styles, how you even to introduce. We have taken like how to introduce your lesson to the class, small topics. We have done that. The second part of it is, we are going on with subject specific teachers. So we are now moving from the general teacher orientation to subject specific orientation, wise orientation. Subject specific, again, for if you're taking for science students, science teachers, then for science at the higher level, science at the lower level, we have been separately training them so that they are aware how you need to go about in teaching in these classrooms. The third aspect of our training is classroom observation, where we, as the B.Ed college, the teachers of the B.Ed college, uh, go for classroom observation of the school teachers, and we have a profile that is made of the school teacher from the day one. What is the name of the teacher, the subjects that she or he is teaching, the classrooms, and how she goes about it, and what are the, so there's a small introduction is done. Then the classroom observations are done. That's the third part. After the classroom observation, again, we have a set of orientation and one to one counseling. We have a group counseling, we have a one to one counseling. After the group counseling or the one to one counseling, we go back. We have few sessions on teacher enhancement or classroom management. Fourth part, again, we go back, is classroom observation, student feedback, principal feedback, teacher feedback, peer feedback, go back again, and rotation. So this has been happening now. It's a year program that we have been doing, and we have been quite successful in that. We have not only we go as trainers, we have external experts who go as trainers, train the teachers on various topics, so that they are also now understanding, looking out there. We see a change in them. In fact, more than we seeing a change in them, the principal sees a change in them. She feels that, her name is Mrs. Kalyani. She feels there's a lot of change that the teachers have been showing. The mindset has changed. The way they approach the problem earlier, or the situation earlier, or when there was a discussion in a meeting, the way they approach the issue then and today, how they are looking at it is totally different. So
I
I feel the number of hours that you asked. So what we do is every month we have two sessions. Both the sessions, one of them is online and one of them is offline. Classroom observations, we have termed it as semester wise, as per the school. And apart from that, pedagogy sessions. So we also handhold them with teacher lesson plans. So how the lesson plans have to be a little bit modified or changed as per the needs. So it's a total handholding that goes on for a year and more.
This is really nice because I've heard the IIM Ahmedabad and also the IITs and IIMs, they allow their professors to take consulting projects at the side so that they can kind of moonlight, and a certain commission or a certain portion of that money goes to the college.
Yeah.
This allows the professor also to kind of get very strong industry connects and understand what are real world problems, and at the same time it allows the organization that they're working with get access to like high quality
Yes.
capital. I think that's such a great idea. Like a school owner or a school principal, tying up with a B.Ed teacher training college and say, okay, we take 3 months salary of one of your professors, and put in your efforts towards turning that around. I actually think that's incredibly powerful. The reason being, a lot of in-service teachers will automatically respect and give the authority that the B.Ed college professor already has and needs to be able to create change within a school, within a school setting. And I think that is incredibly powerful, and it really helps both parties. What I wanted to ask is, are there any books or any textbooks or anything like that a school principal should think about while they're working towards better quality teaching learning?
Okay.
Is there anything like that?
So
Like, how do you get your content? Where does it come from?
yeah. So when we talk about when we have to speak about books today, like students have now reduced their reading on to books. uh, we really feel that putting in a lot of experiential practices with the teachers really help. um, we do not want to pressurize anybody with forcefully trying to get into something, but we try to look up with us with several resources that we
But
have.
are there textbooks?
So for
for B.Ed?
no, so there are no textbooks for B.Ed. There are
No workbooks, no
resources.
textbooks, no homework book.
No, no, no. So there are resources that we provide for B.Ed. We do not provide any textbooks for B.Ed because when the curriculum is made, so how the curriculum is made is the NCT provides with a broad framework, which says that what it should encompass. Now, when you have these areas to encompass, the university, the Department of Education prepares a team who prepare the entire syllabus that you are supposed to transact with the students. This syllabus has certain, very clear points that you need to that the student should have an understanding of this in line with the NCT format or the concept note that is provided. Once that is done, then it is specifically put as per your syllabus and then go. When you are sharing the syllabus with the B.Ed colleges, the expectations of the B.Ed college student is specifically mentioned. So if we are talking about this particular theory, what we expect in this theory is clearly, conveyed to all the B.Ed colleges, and the B.Ed colleges then move on further. There are a lot of reference book that is given, which is provided in the syllabus itself, where the students can refer to for these. Apart from that, most of the B.Ed colleges now have started preparing their own notes, compiling them as a reference book and providing it to the students. There are publications who are also doing that as a reference point, and they're
This is
just grabbing it
superb.
and
So,
taking.
which means that the quality of the transaction of the syllabus will vary tremendously between college to college. And so
Yes.
it's very important for the school principal to know,
Yes.
to understand the legacy, to understand what that B.Ed college is providing.
Yes.
And I think it's very important for school principals to start going and visiting several of these B.Ed colleges to understand how they're actually transacting,
Yes.
the
Yeah, because you know what? There's a lot that happens in the B.Ed classroom, and it differs from every college. Like you rightly said, it differs from every college. And the richness is in how much exposure you provide the B.Ed student. Today, there are a number of B.Ed colleges in our city itself. If I have to say that
Do
one
you think
college,
there'll be 100?
no, we are less than 80 now.
80
78
in Mumbai.
Yeah, in Mumbai.
So there are 80 B.Ed colleges in Mumbai, and each of them will have about 200 students.
No, some of the colleges have the capacity of 100 per batch. The others have 50. So with the 2-year B.Ed program, if your B.Ed college was of 100 student at when you were 1 year, it has come down to 50 because it has become a 2-year program. So 50 in your first year and 50 in your the subsequent
So
year.
what is it? About 4,000 certified B.Ed?
Yeah, so we have around
4,000 certified B.Ed teachers come out every year.
Yeah, 4,500, nearly less than
And
5,000.
Mumbai may have what, 2,000 schools?
Yeah.
And each school on an average 40 teachers
Yes. And
with a
you
churn
really,
ratio of 20%. We have less teachers to.
we have less teachers. And that's why I feel we have less teachers. The demands in the schools are so high. But we don't see the teachers coming in. And
You
exactly.
see, jobs will not be a problem, correct? Because you
Jobs
become
are
a
not a
teacher,
problem, yes.
jobs is not going to be a problem.
Because you have, in a city like Mumbai, you have schools of various categories, boards, the size, the composition, the size, everything is so dynamic. Every person gets placed. So every student gets placed somewhere.
100%
100%. You
placement guaranteed.
Yes, because you are placed surely either in, it depends upon your caliber. Like that's what I said. Every B.Ed college provides something to the student. So that something is your B.Ed curriculum, your B.Ed syllabus, which is transacted. The other things are the extra that is given to the student, and it depends on college to college. So if you're coming from an XYZ college, then you know the caliber of the student at the face of it, you'll be able to understand because the student would have additional 5 things more than someone else. And that is where the B.Ed colleges really are thriving today because they are trying to give the best and trying to move it's like the extra facilities that the B.Ed college is trying to give, which will really make your student, ready for the schools today. I don't want to use the word market ready, but
Yeah.
ready for the schools today. And the schools are looking forward for that extra thing, because what have you done extra? What is it, you have that extra. And that extra is something that the B.Ed college
It's
looks
such a
to forward.
message of hope.
Yes,
To me, it's
yes.
a total message of
Yeah.
hope. It means like, boss, the system is going to be like completely different,
Yes.
and people are getting ready, and people are getting armed to the teeth, with the skills that they require to create a changing, what is the word? Changing ecosystem,
Ecosystem. Yeah.
something like that. So here's something that I wanted to get your view and opinion on. I've spoken to so many school principals.
Hmm.
Okay. And I said, why did you train your teachers? And they're like, why should I train my teachers? I train them, they're going to leave.
Hmm.
Okay. On the other end, I think I've spoken to so many parents who've left school. ये school छोड़ दिया. I left this school. I joined another school. And one of the top reasons that parents have told me as to why they leave a school,
Hmm.
okay, they decide to leave the school. बोलता है, यहाँ पे teacher change होते हैं.
Hmm.
Like they see that when teachers keep changing a school, they leave the school. While they may not join the school because of a teacher, they may leave the school because the teachers decided to leave the school.
Yeah.
Which to me is market insight in parent behavior, which means a principal has to ensure that she does not have a churn in teachers. Teachers should not leave, because that is signaling to parents that this is not a good school.
Good school.
First thing. That means now a teacher has to be trained by the principal.
Yeah, yeah.
Which means you either be you think 5 times before you hire somebody, but if you hire somebody, live with that person and make that person better. Right? That is the first thing. But the second thing, I think a message of hope that I feel teachers, wannabe teachers need to know is that a teacher is incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. Like, especially in Indian school systems, everybody knows, is there a problem with transport? Is there a problem with fees? Is there a problem with water or electricity or internet or something? Go to the principal. But if there's a problem with learning, everyone goes to the class teacher straight away.
Yeah.
Because they believe, like parents believe, there's a clear distinction and demarcation between the mission of the principal and the mission of a teacher. Teacher is there to teach my child. Principal is there to to be available, for parent support and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? Which is great, because it means that the teacher is the hero.
Yeah.
It means the teacher is someone who's powerful, strong, and really holds that school together. Do you think your teachers who join actually know how powerful they are?
So let me take up first with this. There's a very beautiful image on the internet that you can search, teachers of today. So there is a classroom scenario where, in few years back, the parent is asking the student, why have you got less grades? And today the child is along with the parent, and now the parent is asking the teacher, why has my child scored less today? So coming back to that point, is the teacher is still the hero and will always remain the hero. You may have technology, you may have everything. Like I said, the best thing that I speak about teacher is the connect and the communication that we can build. One is, taking it up from there. So when the students join the B.Ed program, um, there is something that they are not aware of, is the power that they have within themselves when they join the program. They feel they have, graduates, young graduates, they feel, oh, like they did their graduation, they just come to the class and that's okay, attend lectures and that's it. But there's a lot of power that they come to know is when they enter for their first lesson in the classroom. So many things happening around. Somebody is asking for water, somebody is asking for something, somebody is moving around, somebody is there. And then your teacher is sitting behind in the class, watching your lesson, how you are going to perform, and marking you and writing what you did, what you didn't do, what went well, what went wrong. Okay. And when it is handed over to the student, that's when the realization comes to the student. Yes, I have to perform. And there is a lot of, something on my shoulder that I have to take it forward. So I feel the practice teaching or the internship program is the first step that the student starts understanding the power that he or she holds in the classroom. Further on, what happens is when the student, or when you are a in-service teacher, when you are questioned for all the things that happens in the classroom, you have been questioned for the performance of the students, or the performance of, whatever happens in the classroom. That's when they realize it, the power. But here, there's a small thing that we need to understand. If the teacher thinks it as the power and the control, or the ability to make that classroom a different environment, then it works fantastic. But if the teacher at that point of time takes it as a burden, or takes it as a clause, thinking that why am I asked for, or everything, why is it coming on me? Why should I be asked for? There are so many other factors that are involved. If your child has not performed, you should now think what is, if it, it just goes the other way, then the teacher, the calling, the passion, everything just dies off. So the teacher needs to understand how effective her or his role is in the total the total scenario of the working of the school. You may have the best infrastructure, you may have everything that you can provide to the classroom, you can bring to the benefit of the student, they are all the uh, the factors that foster your learning, but your learning is your teacher. And for that, you need to understand that the teacher has to be well equipped with all the things that he or she requires to take this learning to be an engaging learning, to be a learning that really makes a change in what they want to bring about in there. So I always keep telling, you can make or break. It can be the child, it can be the environment, it can be the situation. Uh, when you speak about teacher retention, that's one challenge that many of us feel. So when we counsel our students, there's a placement fair that we have. And before the placement fair, there is something called as a grooming that we do, how you're supposed to behave, present yourself in a interview, what are kind of questions. There's a mock interview, the dressing, how do you carry yourself, how do you talk. There's a whole week of session that is done with them. At that time, we always tell them to be very sure when you commit to a job. We tell them that when you are committing to this job, it's like, you're marrying to one person. And when you come marrying to this person, then you're marrying to this job. And then you have to understand that what you look forward in this place in the next 5 years. It's not that what you look forward with you in the next 5 years, because that can be in multiple places. But what you look forward in bringing up yourself in this school in the next 5 years. Look at that. Okay, today you joined in as that. Tomorrow in the next year, what are you going to do? How are you going to contribute? Give your best to the school that you are in, and build a commitment. And that commitment is something that makes a, you may have things, maybe there may be a lot of thorns when you are picking up a bunch of rose. You may have experienced few thorns also, but that's fine. But you need to understand, where will you hold the rose, the thorns or the part which doesn't have a thorn. So you need to understand. So there would be challenges, but then the commitment is something that you need to build in. And that commitment will come with your love for teaching, your love for the profession that you are. The school is just an environment that makes you, calls you every day, but your inner calling is something that has to be really brought in. Only then you will continue to be committed to the school and the teacher retention and everything. And then when I go for teacher retention, one aspect is your professional development. What is your school offering you? How much it is helping you to grow, provide opportunities for growth is something that the school can provide. We should not think that they will outgrow the system. They will not outgrow the system, they will be in the system, but just make them more refined for the system that will really help them to meet the today's gen students as well as the parents, because there's a lot of demand. They require more because our students require more. We are not the same learners as we were as students, so they need more. So let's give them more nourishment. Just makes a tree more healthy.
Wow, Dr. Reni Francis, this has been so wonderful talking to you because you've been able to amplify and build the reputation and prestige around teachers, and more so you've shed light on teacher training colleges and the great responsible work that they're doing right now and how they're evolving to the changing needs of this beautiful tapestry in education, And I think that has been very insightful for me. And I hope that school principals who listen to this podcast might actually go back and think,
Mm.
okay, there are things that we need to learn and we need to up our game. On a closing, any closing comments that you may want to table here before we sign out from this conversation?
So I always feel a teacher is a lifelong learner. We have heard it a couple of times, and I think that the learning is something that drives you to do more. The learning is something that drives you to remain young. You feel, oh, you're still learning, so you're still young. And the youthfulness in teaching is something that you can really take forward for as a very good memory throughout your lifetime. Um, Teachers are very important. They shape the entire ecosystem of education, and let's start trusting teachers, and let's also believe that teachers are also human beings. They need that appreciation, they need that comfort, they need a zone that allows them to perform to the fullest. uh, Whether you are a pre-service teacher or whether you are an in-service teacher, there's a lot of trust and confidence that you need to build on each other, so that we can all bloom so flourishing. It can be a really lovely bed of a bouquet of flowers that is so appealing. Let's give respect to our profession. It's a wonderful profession to be. And I think I'm so proud to be a teacher, and I'm glad that I'm just able to share a little bit what I have experienced in my 23 years of journey as a teacher. And I think probably we can bring it out that everyone who is thinking or who has not thought of teaching as a profession, please think this is a very noble profession, and it will really make you feel so youthful all your lifetime, thinking that you have touched them, you have nurtured them. And the best part is when even when you walk through any of the streets, you will have somebody who's coming and telling you, "Hello, ma'am, do you remember me?" And that's a wonderful memory to carry forward. So, if you have not thought as of teaching as a profession, it is a very noble profession. It is a very a profession that gives you a lot of satisfaction and happiness by the end of the day. And I think that is the biggest treasure you can have for your lifetime.
How can people follow you on social media? Is there
So
anywhere
I'm there on LinkedIn as Reni Francis, Dr. Reni Francis. I'm there on Instagram at Reni Education. So I think, and I'm available on on emails at rfrancis@mes.ac.in.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking
Thank you
this
so
time.
much. Thank you, Willie. Thanks a lot.